right here, absolutely great right here. It's I'm not even a big wine drinker.
Yeah.
But this right here is not too sweet. It's not too bitter. Like it's just the perfect mix. So I really shout out to Nakia.
That's my big sister and whatnot. And like I said, I don't be biased. I don't care what y'all say. It's the best wine in the world. And not even just that, like that 14% hit you.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm slurring my words on stage. Coming to the stage, we got what's your name again?
It's the Wine and Dine South Euclid Wine Festival, guys. If you're in the city of Cleveland, please come out. MCing will be B Titty. Also, it will be music. It will be obviously wine, and it will also be great food right about the 4 Bistro and whatnot. So listen, August 31st, you guys make sure you're here. So, and also looking for vendors. If you want to be a vendor, please let us know or whatnot. You have until July 26th, so please let us know in the comments, okay? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Political Experience. We have another great edition for you guys, episode 228. And we have the honor and privilege of having Mr. Darren W. Carterway today. Master of the grill, then a master of entrepreneurship. And we are going to talk about his journey. We'll talk about, one, how you went and pursued your passion and turned that to a business. A lot of people want to, but not too many do it. So thank you for coming on today.
I appreciate the invite. I mean, y'all Cleveland's Premier Podcast. Who would I want to be on that? Who would I want to be on? Okay? So, look, y'all some young people doing some great things. I wish I had the energy y'all did, or the focus at you guys' age. I'd probably be retired by now, but it's very refreshing, and it's very energizing. So thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you. So what you guys don't know, I met Darren. What's that? Ooh, that was what?
A few months ago.
That was a few months ago. Yeah. And that's the crazy. We said the interview back then. and this is goes to show everyone says, "Oh, why gotta take so long?" Y'all understand? It is lit, but it's well worth it. Let's just say it like that. And we once again thank you for your time, man. I always say to myself, I see you online. I'm like, man, we got to get him on the show. Because I love people who said, all right, 9 to 5, cool, but I want to do the thing I love. And it's one thing because everybody think they're good in the kitchen or think they're good at what they do. Right. If I make a pie real good, let me start selling a pie. It's different between actually creating a business around that.
Right. It is totally different. Cooking in the kitchen and cooking for your family is nice and wonderful, but you cook for people who don't give a hoot nanny about you. That's a total different thing. How you do things regarding health is a total different thing. So when I jumped totally in the deep end and did not have any life support whatsoever.
So I'm gonna talk about let's start at the very, very beginning. Cleveland born and raised?
Cleveland born and raised.
What hood we represent?
131st and Harvard was first.
Okay.
That's where we were until we got robbed 3 times. My parents moved us out to Beverly Heights. Okay. So we got robbed 3 times in a year and a half.
Stop
the last one was on the day before my birthday. I'm a December baby. And my father's birthday is the end of November. Mm-hmm. So we was coming home from school. They were still in the house. We didn't know that. We didn't figure it out until we got out. But they took off their clothes, put it on my parents' bed, took his new suits, because he just got stuff for his birthday. I'm little. I'm about 7 at the time, 7, 8. No, what's 3rd grade age? 7, 8, 8 or 9. And I'm like, did they take my piggyback? That's all. I didn't know.
Oh, no, you was worried about.
I didn't know how big a deal that was.
Yeah.
But my father, who was an entrepreneur too, today we had to make him retire because of he didn't like it, but we had to because of 2020.
Yeah.
He was an entrepreneur. He barbered in the day. That rest of that year, he barbered in the day. He cleaned a hospital at night and then cleaned another thing on the weekend and moved us out to Beverly Heights to where they both still him and my mom still reside. So
that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So Bearcat, 1988. I know it's old. I know y'all be like, long time ago. Yes, it's a long time ago. But yeah, 88 graduated from high school.
So okay, let me ask you this. And I feel like this is the fundamental thing. What was your first experience in the grill?
My first experience of what I seen, because there's a difference.
Okay, good question. Good question.
What I seen was my dad. he was always the one. He worked all the time, so we hardly ever really seen him. But on holidays or something,
he was out there.
he was there. You know, I always remember mom was always prepping the day before. See, back then, I mean, everything is hot and fast back then, right over the coals. So we used to, you know, those big charcoal looking roaster pans. Y'all remember those? We used to put the ribs down in vinegar water. What that did was to season them up. I mean, to tenderize them. Because when they was on the grill, it's just, you know, flip, 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 flip. We don't do that as much anymore. But, you know, I just remember that. It was always a big deal. And seeing him, you know, he'd be there sweating like, you know, he out in the Mojave Desert somewhere. Everybody, come on, Carter, we ready, we waiting. You know, he doing the chicken, he doing the ribs, doing the hot dogs, doing the hamburgers. I always have to, you know, help with the lighting, charcoal or something, you know, just little. But what always got me was the look on the people's faces, how satisfied they were with what came out.
Yeah.
And as I got, I was like, ooh, I want that. I want the family and the picket fence and the dog, and I want to be able to do that too. So that eventually, you know, as I grew up, I never was in a place to really do that. And I did get a family. And then, you know, once we got married, had a family, started doing things, I started to do stuff like that. Started to do the grill. And it was my thing, you know. But then
everybody looked at you.
Yeah. But it was, oh my God, if I saw some stuff, pictures of my stuff, I'd be like, ugh, would I even eat that now? You know, I mean, you just, it was.
So you see the evolution of it all.
It was, you know. But somewhere I saw a Pitmaster show, and they started talking about, you know, different layers of flavor and offset. I'm like, what the hell is an offset? I mean, no, I know you could on a grill, and at the one time I had a gas grill. Don't judge me, okay? But, and I was like, what is this? So from there, you know, I just started to go down that rabbit hole. I started to try different things. You know, we always, you know, get a little open pit and doctor our stuff or whatever and make this and that.
God bless you, kids. Like I'll tell my horror stories, but I would take a brick, put it in aluminum foil, and just put the meat on brick on top of the meat and walk away.
You don't walk away.
And and it will be burnt. It will be burnt. And I told my kids, you're having an occasion today. That's why I tell them to have an occasion.
But you know, look, I can't even tell you how much meat I didn't burn. But if I didn't, my meat wouldn't be like it is today. You gotta have that process.
That's good.
And people think, you know, I hate that my child is growing up with IG and YouTube and all that, because don't nobody show failures. Don't nobody show.
That's good.
You know, we see you now.
Right.
You know, what about it when you was up 24 hours a day doing this and only you cook for hopefully for 50 people to come into your restaurant, only 2 came.
Come on now.
You know, yeah, you are national pitmaster now, but we, you know, it didn't start that way.
It didn't start that way, absolutely.
So now kids, they don't get the background. They don't get the hard work. You know, nothing comes without working at it and working on it, being consistent. And that's key. I don't think kids know that nowadays. Consistency. If you're not consistent, even if you consistently just okay, that will make you better than the person who's cooking better than you.
Come on now.
If you can stay the course, no matter how good they are, if they just hit and miss. One of the best restaurants we had in Cleveland I was growing up was called Everything and Then Some. It's still on Euclid right now. Well, you can still see the building. They have some of the best food. But we would travel all the way over there, they'd be closed. Nobody ever, of course, shows would be there, wasn't around. Nobody ever knew if it was open or not. It was just so inconsistent. So when you get that, you fall off. So then you got other people whose food maybe not as good. I'm not gonna mention, but they still here.
Right.
But they still here because they're consistent.
They're consistent.
They're consistent.
Something gotta be said about it.
Yeah. So that's what started me. And then once I got into it, it was over. It was over. I got a barrel grill, tried to figure out how to do this and do that. It was the story was written at that point in time.
The story's written.
So how did you move from I can cook to it's so good I'm a seller?
I think back. See, we started the business in 19. So 17, probably 17 and 18. I started putting out on Facebook. You know how I'm doing on this or that.
Yeah.
On the grill, I'm making this or I'm making that. People are like, "Ooh, that look good. I'll eat it." You know, and it got so much. Somebody said that they would buy it, and I was like, Now by that point, I've already kind of honed in my rub. It took a little bit more after that, but It took like 2 or 3 years to get that done, and then my salsa took about like 2.5 years to get it to where I wanted to be. But it was enough that I liked it. You know, it was consistent. So I said, okay, what if I did a rib dinner sale? Y'all going, what y'all going to do? You know, people's like, okay, we'll whatever. I'm like, cool. So, you know, my wife, she does the sides. She couldn't make it tonight, but she sends her love to everybody.
Hey, Miss Teresa.
She cooked macaroni and cheese, baked beans, green beans, and coleslaw. Same thing we had today. You had a choice of two, and it was a rib dinner sale. That's what we started out with, because that's what I perfected first. And I think we had 75 sales the first time. We was like, really? I was like, okay, let's do it again.
Right.
So we did it again another weekend, and then it was like, it wasn't as much, but it was like maybe 60 or so. It was still cool for it. I was like, oh, okay, well, you know, let's do this every so often, because I was still working. Actually, my job, which I left, is just a stone throw away from the building that we're in. So I don't want to say the building, but we were just, I mean, literally, you look out the window.
It's right there.
That's where I was.
Wow.
So that was ironic when I was coming down here. I was like,
bring back memories, right?
Right. And, you know, so then, actually, my pastor, Eric T. Davis, New Life Tabernacle Praise, you ain't got nowhere to go, come see us. They had asked, you know, could we do a little bit of catering for a banquet, for an anniversary we was having. And we did part of it, and I said, we're never doing this again. Ever. What year is it now?
We still in 2019, 2020.
No, I'm talking about not right now.
Oh, 2024. You haven't done anything since then.
No, yeah, we have.
Okay.
I ate my words. Yeah, I ate my words basically, but it was the worst. I didn't know anything about timing, how to cook, everything prepared. I was just like, oh, I
learned a lesson.
Everything was late. Everything was late, and I just like, I cannot do this again. And then somebody was like, hey man, you doing the real dinner again? I said, okay. So then we was like, all right, well, 19, we just got it incorporated because we knew at that point that's something that we wanted. Well, me, and she was very supportive of, maybe to do in the future.
And shout out to supporters, partners, and whatnot.
Yeah, she saw the evolution.
Yeah.
I am a diagnosed ADHD. I was 40 when I was diagnosed, so you can understand the craziness that may come out of my life prior to, because not being diagnosed. And you know, in our generation, you know, that's the short buzz. You don't talk about that in the family. That's not discussed. And some families just didn't know. But it was mostly you're not putting yourself in a place to prosper. You're not doing right. You're not. You know, it's your fault basically.
Right.
You know, but nevertheless, that being said, I even though I went through school, went through college, Cleveland said I didn't finish, even though I did a whole bunch there. That I studied barbecue. I studied like you don't put a math book in front of me. I'll put English. You know, I even did graphic design for a while. We talked about that a little bit. But barbecue is what I studied, and she saw that. And when we said, okay, let's do this, fine, we would. So we thought, all right, 2020 is going to be a good year for us. We just started.
This is pre-March 2020?
This is, yes.
Yeah, I was about to make sure we got
we were coming. It was all good. We were planning on doing, you know, some bigger things in 2020, and then of course COVID hit.
Yeah.
And since we were doing it out of our home, no, you can't do it out of your home, people. Even though we know when you start, you do. You know, we weren't bringing nobody, you know.
Right.
And with our work schedule at that time, where I was working, would always change, almost like every other month. So we couldn't really, you know, jot down a lot of things. We just said, okay, we'll do it when we can, but let's focus on what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So once we got through 2020, I went back to work, and then I found out I had to get a shoulder cuff surgery. So I was out all of 2021 basically for the most of it. But it's that part that we use a service called Honeycomb Credit. They are crowdfunding, but it's interest-based. It's not like you get equity in the business, but we pay you back in interest. So it's just not like a GoFundMe to where, okay, I'm asking you for money, you know, I don't give it to you back. I give it to you back, but since you believe in me, I'm gonna give it to you back with
interest. Okay.
So when we found that, because traditional banking didn't work for us, we weren't bankable. I was pissed about it then. I still got the letter, and I got it I have it highlighted saying that we will not give you the loan.
Motivation.
So, I gave a lot of fingers that, shouldn't be done. And I did, and it was less than what we ended up getting, crowdfunding.
Oh wow.
So, but you live and learn. They'll finance a car because they can take that.
Right.
I didn't have no assets at that point. You know what I'm saying? So I know a little bit better now, but I still was pissed off.
Right.
So we got that, and we were able to put a down payment on a trailer, the smoker. We were able to get that kind of taken care of. So the plan was when I went back to work, we'll do 2 to 3 years, or maybe a 3 to 5 year plan it was. Do both. But that first year when we got the trailer, I mean, it was ridiculous. The Beachwood Truck Park was just open. We got there. People were asking for our stuff. I had to turn down a lot of business. And, I was mad, but I wasn't because I'm still getting a steady paycheck. And that paycheck was nice.
So, and I'm glad you said, because I know, and I know for a fact, I know firsthand when my job began with my business. When did you make the decision to be like, okay?
Now, to do that, I got hurt again. I was out because what I was doing, I worked at the steel mill, and for what I was doing was very hard on the body, very hard on my mental capabilities because I didn't like it. It wasn't. It was when I got that job. I was there for 7 years. I'm old, but I told people I'm not steel mill old, so I haven't been there. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been there since I was 19.
Yeah.
But the one thing is very true when you work in those type of environments because of all the powders, the hazardous, and everything. If you go in with good health, you're coming out bad.
Oh wow.
If you go in with messed up health, it's going to be worse.
Way worse.
So my body was just like, it was just one after the other. I mean, it's been like at least 3 or 4 or 5 times where they didn't have to, take me out of there because of dehydration, even though you drink a whole bunch of water or whatever. It's just been a lot of things. And the last thing, I had a bone splinter, something in my foot, so I had to be in a cast for like 3 months. And with that, I was going to, return to work. But then you all know the comedian, now I can't think of his name. This Ain't for the Week. That was his last next Netflix special. He did it here in Cleveland at one of the theaters. I can't think of his name.
I know you're talking about light skin.
Yes.
Yes.
David Arnold.
Yeah, David Arnold.
David Arnold.
Yeah.
We went to go see him just that December before for his Netflix special down here in Cleveland, downtown Cleveland.
Rest in peace, by the way.
Yes, and honestly enough, that's what pushed me over. We saw a video of him. Well, my wife did because my wife loves him and follows him a lot. Of a video of him just that morning, the day before, telling about how his week was going to be. He was very excited. He had some classes, do some things, and then the next day, we go and find out that he ain't even here no more.
Right.
He's my age.
Wow.
He's my age, and I saw that, and I was like, honey, I can't go back to work.
Yeah.
I can't. I just I can't. So it was a point of, people, well, what if you fail? What if I don't? What if I do something good?
Come on now.
What if I succeed? I never know that if I don't take that chance.
Take that chance.
And unfortunately, it was his death, or seeing how, I know how life is fleeting, but it was just like, for whatever reason in that moment, it just blurred out to me, and I was like, okay, all right. And my wife agreed. And then when when we were getting in, I was about to put in my 2 weeks, is basically when I was able to come off of sickness and accident or disability. That's when my 2 week would have been in. So that day I was supposed to come back was the day that I left. Because this is not my first rodeo with entrepreneurship. I left my job before trying to make a graphic design, computer repair business, put us in bankruptcy. So even trying to do that, I was, at one point I said, you know what, I'm not doing this, Teresa. I'm not. I sat on the couch crying. I said, I am not doing this because I'm not putting us through what we went through last time.
Yeah.
But it was her that told me, this is not last time. I see the passion that you have for this. I see what you're doing. This is not last time, and this is going to work.
I love that, man.
So we did it. I put in my 2 weeks. I ain't been back. I ain't been back. And people ask, well, how is it? Well, how is it? It's hard. It's hard as hell. But my worst so far. And when this changes, that's when I'm gonna have to reevaluate.
Mm-hmm.
Even in my worst day, doing what I do, everything's or something doesn't go right, or just goes wrong, or I ain't got no money, which has happened. Even on my worst day, it outweighs the best day at my 9 to 5.
Get out of here.
That's good.
If that ever switches, then I need to
Right.
reconsider. But for now, I mean, look, I mean, if I needed to, I could try to hustle up someone. Hey, y'all want some ribs? Want some ribs?
Right.
Slide?
Have a
You
sale.
know what I'm saying? And it's just that way. It is. I worked much harder. I am exhausted more than I did in my 9 to 5. There is a lot more pressure, but still, even in that, I'm getting a chance to do something I love to do.
Yeah.
So now, not only do I have the family members say, "Oh, that was some good ribs," or this and that. Now I got people I don't even know.
Come on now.
That's some good pulled pork, man. I like that. What you do? I used to smoke that, all that kind of stuff. People that, I follow you. I had somebody come in to Creative Space. Shout out to Asia.
Come on now. Shout out to Asia. Come on.
30480. We're there Sundays, 12 to 6, by the way.
Come on now.
But, hey, I follow you. I'm a fanboy. I follow you on Instagram. I was like, oh. But the reach is I don't, I could never imagine me being in a position like that.
God is good, man.
He is all the time, as they say. And then y'all say all the time.
All the
God
time.
is
Yeah.
good.
Come on now.
So speaking of good,
Mm-hmm.
we know y'all got the best dry rub with the Cleveland twist, and that sauce is something else. When it came to perfecting that, how? Like, is it like, a family recipe? Is it just an ancient secret? Is it more like I really had to figure it out?
I had to figure it out. It was just trial and error. I remember when I first started to do rubs. I am a sweet savory guy. I'm not the hot. You're not gonna get a lot of hot.
Yeah.
My first rub had like 3 pounds of brown sugar in it, which burns your meat. You put too much brown sugar in it, it burns your meat.
Trade secrets.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you got too much brown sugar in your rub, that's not good because your meat's just gonna get burnt. But and I was like, that's what I thought I liked. I looked at the old pictures. That's what I had for rub. Oh my God, they used to put that on brisket. But it's just trial and error. You see things. There's always a basic. You see people do things, and you take that. Okay, I like that. I like that. But how do you like it to where it fits you? There are tons of SPG, salt, pepper, garlic rubs out there. The difference is their proportions, and some people sneak stuff in that they ain't supposed to. So it's just what you like. So it just came to a point of trial and error. Nope, that ain't work. That ain't work. Okay, let me take some of this out. Let me put some more of this in. Let me use this. Let me use that. I don't like that taste. Let me try it again. Like I said, that was about a 2.5 year process. Same thing with the sauce. Well, I want to add that. Well, I want to take away this. Because I know what I wanted and what I liked. And the closer I got, the better you just kind of, tweak. So, and again, that started from basis of what we've seen everywhere. This ain't nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
It's just how do you put your spin or your flavor onto it. So, and it got that way. So when I finally got it, I was like, all right, cool, I can use this. Now I know my ribs, should always taste the same if all the time. You should always get that similar taste. There may be a little, if I leave it on a little bit too much sometimes you fall asleep at night. All you gotta be pit masters, But on general, you should have the same taste. Same thing with the pork butter. You should have the same taste because you're using the same thing over and over. We talk about again that consistency.
Yeah.
And that's what people want. They wanted what they came to the truck for 1 week. They want to have the same things the next week.
It's like different this week.
Yeah, if you keep doing that, I mean, and look, nobody's perfect. Everybody has a bad day. Whatever restaurant you're in, I do not care. Y'all don't complain when y'all get those small little messed up burgers from McDonald's. Y'all still go. So don't go to a business, especially a business that's a small business, and they had an off day, Now you're putting them up on Yelp
Yeah.
because they're most terrible. Go there a few times, you know, because things happen. If I wake up late, I am in trouble,
Yeah.
you know, because I have to have a certain hour of time to cook in. And if I increase that or try to slow it down, that may change a little bit.
Yeah.
So, you know, but life happens. Yeah, you just got to be consistent with it. And it was just building from a base of what I saw and then putting me into it. Because the one thing we want when you come and you taste our food, we want to have the love. I want you to feel the love. That's what I want.
Speaking of feel the love, they've been showing you a lot of love, so we all know you can all be outside. Carter's is literally everywhere. Every publication, every TV show, podcast, every food truck park in the city has made it where they have to have Carter's at least once throughout the season.
At least.
How did you all master marketing? Because business is one thing and selling plates is one thing, but people actually are looking forward to seeing Carter specifically.
You get lucky, really. And here again, you got to be consistent with your food. You got to be consistent with your food. There are, I mean, my staple. I mean, I'm on the east side, so Beechwood is my staple. I'm near every Wednesday. And then we rotate that with Lakewood. We're gonna be at the Yard. We'll be at South Beechwood once this year. But once people see that, one, people love your food. Two, they ain't gotta wait an hour to get your food. And your customer service is decent.
I was going to say
people come back for that. They know they're not gonna have a problem with you. You know, so we try to make it. That's why we had our menu like it is now. People are like, oh, you don't have plates? No, we got sandwiches and sides. Trust me, you will be full. You will get the itis, but it makes it easier to disperse. So, you know, our average ticket time, even if we got a line, is maybe under 10 minutes.
Wow.
You know, where you got somebody who's, and plus, one advantage I have is everything is pre-cooked, obviously. It's cooked the night before. So all I gotta do is make the sandwiches. We package up the sides, throw them on out. I don't have to, it's still fresh, but I don't have to cook it. You see what I'm saying? So you ain't gotta wait 20 minutes for some chicken. Then, you know, that's cooked with some dirty grease, which I'm sorry some people do that. Y'all please clean your grease. Get some chicken, and because, you know, some people don't have the time. We kind of did that when we started working with Amazon because they only have half an hour lunches. And if you taking a few minutes to get out here, now I got 20 minutes for you to get your food, and you can't eat when you get back in.
I've had that happen before.
Yeah, you done missed your time. So we try to figure out a way to expedite that, and that has been working for us, you know, ever since. So the food is good. Yes, it is. The service is great because, I mean, who wouldn't want to see me? and you know, we're able to expedite and be quick. So that kind of gets us out. And you know, once we're there, we've never really had a trouble of people wanting us back. And I appreciate that because, you know, you guys talk about legacy. One thing, right now my Carter name is borrowed. My parents are still alive, and I want it to be borrowed for as long as possible. He's 82, she's 80. But even when it does come mine, you know, I have to want to leave it for my son. He's 8. So I don't want nothing bad to be taught of with that name. I mean, I got my issues personally.
Right.
And
people
know I got my issues personally. But when you talk about Carter's Barbecue brand, I want people to have a good and favorable, positive, you know, thought process when they do that. So that's what I'm working hard to try to achieve. So, and you just got to be, again, consistency.
So how do you stay consistent? Because barbecue can be deemed a seasonal business, especially when you have like a truck or trailer. In the months that aren't as heavy, like in the summer, we know we licking our fingers on the rib tips and everything. Whatever, and I might be wrong because I have yet to explore this business, but in my logical thinking, there are going to be ebbs and flows where there will be a slow season. First of all, do you have them, and if so, how do you navigate with that?
Yes. Okay. See, and here's something about business. You got to prepare. You know what they say: in the time of peace, prepare for war.
That's right.
When prior to me leaving my job, the last winter, not the winter that we just had, the one prior to, I was still getting my little disability check, you know.
Mm.
So it wasn't. I couldn't tell where no
Where
cash
did
flow
we,
wasn't right. This past winter, it was all me, and I didn't really do. And you got to look at you got to look at yourself. I think the last episode, young lady said about looking at yourself and knowing, you know, right, wrong, or indifferent. If you shouldn't have done that, if you should have did that. It was my fault. I ain't really prepared. My wife was like, man, you gotta get some more catering. You gotta say, yeah, okay. This winter was harsh, okay, harsh. Because even though we're out, you know, still the truck parks, 2 truck parks are open, Beechwood and Lakewood. Even though they're out, you know, certain times people still ain't coming.
Yeah.
So that, you know, that draws it down. We still have a few consistent places, but what we needed to do was have more events that we could cater. So now this summer, I am trying to build up catering. So it could take us, you know, that I won't be so messed up like I was because what is this day? Some July, August before Juneteenth. I am still reeling and getting out of my mistake for the winter. Still reeling, which I wanted to not do as much this winter.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to.
Yeah.
But now next winter, we're gonna be all good.
Yeah.
But those are the lessons that you learn in business. I ain't go to business school. I don't know. You think some things are common sense, but you think some things are going to work and they don't. So when you do that, you got to pivot. And I did not pivot. That's one of the things that made people successful during the pandemic, which I still have my 9 to 5, so that's what I was doing. When they learned how to pivot, they're still here.
Yeah.
It's the ones that couldn't that, you know, we unfortunately don't see them anymore.
Blockbuster is a great example.
Absolutely. Oh God, yeah. Good example.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's, you know, it is not easy. You see me smiling on Instagram sometimes, but shit.
So that's a great segue. So I want to ask you if not, and we don't dwell on and regret it like that. But what are some lessons that if you can go back, you would either redo or just go about differently if you had to do it all over again?
I still would quit. That's a
lot faster.
Man, I wish I would have had this was an ADHD. I wish I would have had the mindset for something like this as a young person. But one, I didn't know what I had.
Yeah.
You know, just the thing on Darren, you know, he's cool, but he ain't gonna finish nothing. You know, he started, it's not gonna finish it, or you know, this or that, or that, and that was true. You know, because my mind was scatterbrained, and there was no passion in a lot of things that I was doing.
Yeah.
But if I had found something and knew how to, you know, therapy is a wonderful thing. Medication is a wonderful thing. Mental health is a wonderful thing. I'm a Black man, and I'm talking about mental health. This is Mental Health Month as well. And if people aren't talking about that enough, you should.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, look, I tried to commit suicide twice in my life. One as a teenager and one as a full-grown adult. So things are real. I know people be like, oh, you got to man up, or, you know, oh, you could take it. No, the mind is just as fragile as the body.
Come on, man.
It's a muscle that needs to be built up, and sometimes you don't have the equipment around you to do so for your mind. If you're beat up all the time, you know, in your mind, you start to believe that kind of stuff. So that's a little caveat. But Mental Health Month, men's mental health, check on it. So with that, there was nothing. I was just really scatterbrained with it.
Yeah.
But if I would have known that maybe by that time, maybe got into a passion. Here again, I could be retired and doing something, you know, else about now. But I mean, look, I'm still alive, so I have time to do something.
And God's timing, though.
It happens. So it doesn't matter if you're 25, 35, 55, 75. If there's something that's passionate to you to do, I'm not going to be the one to tell you to jump off the cliff, but I'm going to tell you to jump off the cliff. You know, there's no guarantees in that. You know, I could be gone before this airs. There's no guarantee. But one of the things that I would have been satisfied with, obviously I don't want that to happen, but one thing I would have been satisfied with is I did something that I was able to do something that I love. I was able to touch people's lives through a way that I never thought I would. Making steel was not it for me.
Right.
You know, doing whatever I did, even when it was with graphic design, it was not. But this here, nothing gives me more joy when a satisfied person, or I see somebody, hey, I saw you, and I followed you, and I had to come get it. It didn't disappoint. That means the world to me. Now, we've had some critics. and that's cool too. Because then I gotta check my game. I gotta think about was I on my A game that day? You know, maybe they are right. You know, and then some people you just be like, okay, whatever. But for the most part, you have to take it. You have to take it as just to see where, if there was, you could have done better. You know, I'm not just going to wipe them off, because if I can do better, then I want to do better.
Right. No, that's good.
And that's the epitome of the pit master too. Like, you definitely want somebody who's not just on the grill to chill, like, but somebody who's like, ooh, taste that, too much salt, too much sugar. You know, like, I want somebody to be like, is it perfect? Because we still
still perfect.
Yeah.
It's a craft. It's no different than painting, dancing, art, singing. It's a craft, and it's a craft. By the way, people, it wasn't started in Texas. It was not started by your white ancestors. I am very sorry, but it was started by the enslaved Africans who came over here and kind of curated that. We use the term pit master. Pit master to me is like love. It's just thrown around. You know, it doesn't carry much weight anymore. You know, I call myself, technically, really, I just call myself a barbecue cook. I don't believe yet I have stepped into that stratosphere. I mean, when I'm talking about or thinking about the pit masters, I'm thinking about the ancestors before us. They literally dug pits. They literally had to, from, you know, raising, killing, cleaning, cooking, serving, the whole
thing.
So, you know, if you call yourself a pit master, yes, I'm being petty right now. If you call yourself a pit master just because you can cook ribs on a pellet smoker, then we got to talk. We got to talk. But I mean, you know, things like that. I hate that, you know, with all the things that is coming up and with histories being erased, our history is being erased. People of color, people got to know, and I believe barbecue is America's cuisine. It's really a cuisine that was brought here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other cuisines that were brought here, but this one was made here. Germans had a little tinge to do with it, and then of course we molded a little bit more of what the indigenous people had. You know, they did a little bit of the same, but on higher stilts. I mean, when you think of Kansas City barbecue, you know, no one would ever think that the Godfather barbecue, or what we know to be Kansas City barbecue, was a black man, Henry Perry. It was his style that started the Kansas City barbecue. But ain't nobody gonna tell you that. You know what I mean? So when you get into those type of things, I'm very passionate about being a mouthpiece of letting people know that, you know, you can't erase this. We have stories to tell,
the history behind it,
and we need to tell it. So everybody think
good.
You know, it started in you know, Texas, or now the Carolinas. They are good with, they do have barbecue, kind of really, where you want to say where it kind of originated, sort of, because that's where everybody was brought in as well, and that's when you're getting the whole cooking and stuff like that. But the art of barbecue goes back to our enslaved ancestors that were brought over here. The way when you're talking about the low and slow, when you're talking about long cooks, everything, and that's why I hate the oxtails has become a delicacy now. Everything that has been gentrified, we used to eat.
Right.
You know, the brisket. Brisket is king in Texas, but nobody would ever have done brisket. Who do you think kind of got that together? Because it was this tougher cut of meat. We had to cook it slow so it could be edible. Now you got oxtails, and we have pig, whatever else they got. You know, once something gets gentrified, that's why I mean, we used to get oxtails, pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, and look at them
now it's like $10 a pound.
I seen chitlins.
Right.
Yeah, $15, $20 a bucket.
Man, a bucket.
It's been what I call
like gold.
What I call gentrified. You know, so they like it now. So it's like, okay, now the price going.
Yeah. Real quick, my barber talking about what there's vegan chitlins. I'm like, what? That's like running spoons. We was about to just die and laugh. I'm like, vegan chitlins. Now, if you steal that, I'm gonna sue you.
all I know is everybody comes. Well, there are quite a few people that say, "Why don't you have a vegan option?"
I'm gonna ask you about that one last question too.
When a vegan store asks me to bring some barbecue in their place, maybe I'll add a vegan option. But here's the thing: people don't understand. If I do that, now you're asking me to buy another separate cooking utensil because I can't cook nothing jackfruit or whatever they get
yeah.
on the same thing because you can still got the meat proteins, you know. So now I got to spend extra money for that for something that is not a showcase for me.
Yeah.
So,
but that's I feel like that's a whole different like skill set that you have to master.
Dude, this is Cleveland, Ohio. I can name you like 3 vegan trucks already. You know what I'm saying? You got too many. So I mean, you don't have too many, but you have enough where you
options.
can, that you don't. Look, I am not a healthy truck. I am. You know, they're heavy meats. I can give you diabetes if you eat too much of it. I mean, but no, I mean it's barbecue. I know, you know, people eat that for special occasions. They come and eat it every or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's
moderation.
It's not one of those. I am not a health food truck.
But you know, your demographic, you know what you're good at. You're not trying to appeal to everybody, and I think some people get caught up in that.
No, and that's people ask me. I made a video about a reel. Everybody, why don't you got chicken? Why don't you got fries? Why don't you got Polish boys? Now you know if you got a barbecue spot, you're supposed to have Polish boys.
How about Cleveland staple?
It's a Cleveland staple, right? Yes, but here again, this is my role. My role is I want to show you a different way of barbecue. That's a low and slow, cooked with wood, not with charcoal, not with pellets, not hot over a grill. Wood flames and wood smoke over a long period of time, and you get that different, distinct flavor, and you get homemade sides with it.
I'm getting hungry.
You know, so no, I'd be like, I'm sorry, I don't have fries. And see, first of all, my trailer, when we raised the money for it, but it was under $30,000, maybe like $27,000. I couldn't afford it. Let's be honest, I couldn't afford much more than that, right? If I would have got a fryer in there, little oven stove or whatever, we're talking about $55,000, $60,000. Carter's barbecue would not have been Carter's barbecue.
Yeah.
So, but with what I cook, when most of it's gonna be cooked there anyway on my pit, then it's like this is the best thing for us.
Absolutely.
This is the best thing for us. And it's a different way. You know, everybody, you can get Polish boys anywhere.
Yeah, in Cleveland. I put a quarter.
Yeah, and I go get them from places I love too. But you're just not gonna get that here.
Yeah.
You're just not gonna get that here. Now, if I ever in the future have a brick and mortar, then that kind of stuff may be added. But to have that on my trailer, I want to keep it simple. This is what we have. This is what I'm good at.
Yeah.
So this is what I know that you would like.
Another thing you're really good at is educating us around the idea of pit masters and people we might not have known. Can we talk more about your podcast space?
Yeah, I have one. Not as good as y'all though. I got to get into the YouTube space, but
we got you.
I gotta figure that out. But it's on Instagram and it's called The Unknowns with the S, like pit masters. I got that. There was an article when I started going down the rabbit hole. I was looking for a class to get more, education. And, there are a lot of these pit masters out there who have classes. So I looked for one. Then I was like, okay, where are black folks? So I started looking. I couldn't really find. And I started looking for black pit masters. And then I saw this article. It's an old article. They always update it every so many years. But it was in a Fox article online talking about the most influential pit masters, of the year, or the time, or the year, whatever. It was about 12 of them. Maybe two of them were women, but none of them were black. And I'm like, I know a couple now. I mean, I know a few. I see a few on TV. I mean, they're not even in consideration.
Yeah.
So then I started looking more, and then I called it a clapback article. I don't think they wouldn't call it, but Southern Living. They had their list of influential pit masters of all time, basically. That's where I learned about Henry Perry and other folks. But the first ones was the unknowns. They called them the unknowns because of pre-Reconstruction and even after, records weren't shown. But basically their line was, we don't know their names, but we know they were there. They were the ones who cooked.
We know their contribution.
Absolutely. We know the ones, because after the emancipation, that was how people a lot of times made their money. People want to talk about blacks with watermelon, but watermelon was a source of finance for us. And that's then starting to put the little jigaboo stuff out to cut that stuff down. But you can go anywhere and find a barbecue stand, a watermelon stand, you know what I'm saying, and a moonshine stand.
Yeah.
You know, those were things that were crafts that were taught during slavery. They had to be used for slavery, and they used that to try to do their own. So when I saw that, I was like, ooh, that was the unknowns. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. And I thought of what if we had a way to, you know, talk to people or get people together. I started a Facebook page. I just wanted people to come and be communal. And that's one thing, um, you know, there is an old boy network in everything that you do. And we never had that in a lot of areas. So I tried to want to make that. So I started the group, and then I did eventually start the Instagram page. And my first interview was Blue Smirk Blair, Erica Roby. She at that time won barbecue brawl, Bobby Faye's barbecue brawl, and she at the time lived down in Dayton or Springfield or Spring wherever where the comedian lives. What's his name? Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
That time, and I just reached out. I was like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do here. Can I talk to you? And she said, yeah. And I was like, oh crap! Now what do I do? I mean, I don't know.
What do I do now?
And we had a great conversation, and I think I got about like 60. You know, it's been on hiatus because right now, trying to get out that winter. You got to do what you got to do. I'm proud to say, but then I'm sad to say, it's the largest collection of modern day pitmaster stories. You know that we have, and it's like, really? I mean, it's not been done before, but I mean, we've talked to people who have been on TV. You know, we got the people that have been on American Barbecue Showdown, Netflix, Barbecue Brawl, and then from people just like myself trying to do the business. But one of the things I want to make sure was that these people aren't unknown. Even though we're called the unknowns, I want people to know who they are. That's dope. So follow the channel. I know it's Black Fit Masters, and then we're gonna get back up. We got some good people.
Listen, we're behind the show notes, so y'all are part of the Full of Experience family. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're having the show notes for you guys. So I gotta ask you. So we talk about the past, talk about the present, talk about the future. What does the future hold for you and for your endeavors?
Me and for my endeavors. I just want to continue to make this a consistent, profitable business first. Let me make it profitable.
Right.
On all accounts. Everybody asks, well, do you got a restaurant? Do you want a restaurant? No, it's too much overhead. I would rather have a couple more trucks or trailers.
Come on now.
Beforehand.
Yeah.
With that being said, have a hub, a kitchen hub that everything can go out. But for the next 5 to 7 or 8 years, that's what I would, go up to. From there, we just see if it's reason. I tell people, God got to come down himself and sit like where you are and tell me, Darren, you got to do it. But for a restaurant, it's just so much, and it has to be the right. I mean, the right situation.
So if everything lines up perfectly, if everything like doors open, wide open, like I got this guy, nothing but God right here.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It has to be that. Because it's just so much more. I mean, we're dealing in a time now. It's hard to keep employees. Prices are going up.
But
so
the Red
much
Lobster,
already. The Red Lobster did bad things though. They oh my God. They let themselves get bought or sold themselves, and then they let themselves get what they do. They had to lease back their own land at a higher price. So I nothing. The thing that I hate that is we're in a world that we can't go backwards. Logistically, we're back to where we were pre-COVID, but price-wise, we're not.
Oh yeah.
Where the slab of ribs was $129 or a little bit less, 2019. Now they're $230, $250. So, and that is just continuing to creep up. So, and it hurts, especially for a business like ours. You try to keep as much prices down as possible, but you got to make a profit with the meats that we deal with, especially with brisket and so forth. It's expensive, so we try to keep things that we can keep on the low end, but there's some things that just have to be paid for, or I won't be in business
No,
So,
You know?
that's totally understandable.
And I'm about to say, and this is just how I look at things. Like the future, like I said, things are coming away from brick and mortar. So I mean, food trucks, like say, keep overhead low, and then like you said, if you train up people, you can have each side of the city or whatnot. So I'm with you.
Cleveland, Seattle started that whole thing a long time ago, but Cleveland now is full of trucks.
Yeah.
And especially since COVID, because they still were able to serve where restaurants couldn't. Cleveland now is full of trucks. So you have to stand out.
Yeah.
And that goes back to the same thing, consistency.
Yeah.
You got to say, because somebody's new going to come out, and they're going to try to be doing the same things. Or there's a couple of people I see now, I was like, oh, okay. But then I don't see them nowhere. You know what I mean? So it's like, just be consistent, keep your head down, do the work, and then everything else, you'll find yourself still coming out ahead. Just get rid of the noise. There's going to be a lot of noise. But yeah, we're really crowded right now. The food trucks.
Y'all doing y'all thing though, which is crazy that y'all are able to stand out. Okay, so food trucks. We move on to collaboration. The city of Cleveland has a stigma that we're not a collaborative city. What are some ideas that you have as far as changing that narrative?
The stigma is real. Well, okay, like I said, I'm in my mid 50s. So growing up, I think on the last episode, the young lady mentioned this a little bit. Very separated, east side, west side. I don't think it is that much as it is now, but it is cliquish. It is very in some agencies, you got to be in that circle, and then they gatekeep. That used to be Cleveland to a T, especially I was growing up and in my early 30s, 40s, whatever. Now it's a little different. There's new blood that's coming in. Is it still there? Yeah. But there are people like yourselves who are doing things with different people, and it's chipping away at that. Because your generation under you saying that's going to break through that a little bit. But for me and my part, look, a rising tide, it raises all boats, right? I don't care how high I am. If you down there, that don't help me. So for me, and I even had to do a reel and a post on this, because people are like, well, why do you do that? I support anybody that's doing whatever they're doing. People are like, but yeah, you did a barbecue truck. You gonna tell them where they gonna be at? Absolutely.
Yeah, come on.
If they're doing well, here again. So now, if I do good, maybe they be like, okay, well, Carter do good. Well, maybe we could take a chance on this truck, and vice versa. So look, everybody out there, it's enough money for us all. It's enough. You got your thing. I don't care if we're the same barbecue truck. We all do this. We all do things differently. Yeah. So you ain't never grown up and never seen a Wendy's, a McDonald's,
right,
and a Burger King. They all on the same corner.
All on the street.
Don't they all do the same protein? They all do hamburgers. But they all ain't none of them broke.
That's right.
All of them, and I'm going for bankruptcy. All of them making money. All of them are expanding. Is because they stay in their lane and do what they need to do. So I do what I need to do. You do what you need to do, and I will support the hell out of you. Whatever you're doing, I post folk stuff all the time, and for me, that helps with that, to break that narrative and stigmatism of, we can't work together or we can't do. Look at that, man. All of them. I don't care if you do whatever you do. Even if I don't like your food, I'm still gonna do it because somebody does. We all got different tastes, but somebody does. So yeah, it is not. It will be better in the future. It will definitely be better in the future because of people like yourselves, people that see what you're doing, and it'll get better. It'll get better. Hopefully, when my child comes up, he's 8. That atmosphere will be rich in collaboration. So the trials that we've gone through, he doesn't have to go through.
That's good. I think we're disruptors in that.
You said what? We're disruptors?
We're disruptors.
For sure. Unapologetic. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And nothing. Movements have happened. They've been moments, but when you have movements, they're by disruptors. And they're mostly by young people. And there have also been sacrificed. I mean, rest in peace, Joe Madison. The one thing I always loved what he said was, There's a difference between a moment and a movement. The movement requires sacrifice. So the things that you're doing, the things that you're sacrificing, creating this movement will push the narrative forward. And you have to continue. You have to continue to do that. But you got to have that sacrifice. And you guys' generation, for some reason, y'all want to do that a lot. So, kudos to y'all. Kudos to y'all.
So, what is your dream collaboration? If it could be any person or company, nothing's too small because everybody's watching us.
We know about myself. We know they're watching. We know they're watching.
Who is it? Let's put it out there.
I like last week's episode. She was like my son. I was like kudos on her. I mean, I one of the things I wanted to do was to cook with famous Black pitmasters. I was able to do that. I was able to cook with or by Kevin Bledsoe, Rasheed Phillips, Jeremiah and Joy Victorian. Kevin Bledsoe is an OG from Compton. He's franchising out his Bledsoe's barbecue. Rasheed Phillips is the boy is just barbecue genius. He was on the American Barbecue Showdown, Joy Victoria, same thing, and so many others. And that took me over the top. You know what I'm saying? Being able to meet what I call my barbecue heroes. In my basement, it was full of Marvel and Star Wars, and my man K was, my things. Now I have my barbecue heroes wall.
Wow.
So that's taken over, and I love some of my other ones, but all of these are my Black barbecue heroes. People that I've seen do some stuff that I know are doing. And even that I'm learning from, that I'm getting mentored from. I mean, Kevin Bledsoe is a mentor. He was part of the Kingsford Preserve the Pit program. It's going into its fourth year later this year, but it is a program that Kingsford takes applications for Black pitmasters keeping the flame alive of barbecue per se, doing something for their community. And there was 3 fellows the first year, and this last 2 years there was 6 for each class. And this last year I was lucky to be chosen for one of those. So I was a Kingsford fellow, and getting mentored by him, Rashad Jones. If he's been on Beat Bobby Flay, actually beat him twice.
Okay.
He's won the Bobby Flay barbecue brawl. People like that, Dr. Howard Conyers, when you want to know anything about the history of barbecue, that man is a walking encyclopedia. And even though some of those brothers and sisters are younger than me, I have so much to learn from them. They've been in the game longer than I have. So that is just awesome. But a collaboration, I cry sometimes because I'm a Cleveland sports fan. I've cried a lot. I've lived through Red Right 88. I lived through the fumble. I've lived through all that, So, but I would love to do something with the Cleveland Browns.
Come on.
Yes, they
I know y'all watch
us.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would love to do something with the Cleveland Browns. Yeah.
All right. So, hey, listen.
They will
slide into the DM.
Yes, show notes.
I know Jimmy Haslam was like, you know what? I gotta hit a party.
I'm telling you, dog bone barbecue. I could do the the beef rib barbecue, the dino bone.
Come on now.
That could be a special. So I'm just saying,
Hey,
I'm just saying.
I know you're watching. Stop playing.
Yeah. And but you know what though? I mean, just to even think that there could be a little inkling of that. Again, 7 years ago, 10 years ago, I wouldn't even imagine this.
Yeah.
But this is the outcome of stepping out by faith.
Come on now. And being consistent.
Being consistent. Would I ever met my barbecue idols? Would I ever did this? Would I ever become that? Nope. I'll still be sitting there making steel.
Yeah.
And just dreaming of stuff like this. But when you finally just, take the leap, it ain't easy. But it's so rewarding. It is so rewarding.
It's not easy, but it's rewarding.
Yeah.
That episode.
It is. I wouldn't. If somebody tell me I was thinking about doing this, I'd be like, do it. I'm not the one to stop you. Make sure you get your stuff in a row. There are some things you do need to get together. You know, there is a jump by faith, but then there is also uh, um, jumping by faith with logistics, with help, with a plan. You know what I'm saying? You can do those things. You can jump by faith and still have something away, but you don't always have to wait till everything is together because that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. Something's going to happen. You're going to get a raise at work, or this is going to happen. It's, oh, I can wait. Next thing you know, it's 10 years later. It's like, dang, I never really got a chance to know what to do. So it's up to you. And I said, if it didn't work, I can go back and do something else.
Right.
The worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, I can go back and push a broom.
There we go.
Best case scenario, you can see me on TV.
And that'll be happening soon.
Yes,
I know y'all watching
absolutely.
right now on y'all YouTube TVs.
Absolutely. And so I want to ask you this. Legacy, like we talked about earlier. And you kind of alluded to that. But if I was to ask you, what do you want the, because, and this word is where it stemmed from, as we all know, Nipsey Hussle, great man. I watched the interview that he was talking about all the things he wanted to accomplish. When I looked at all the accolades of what things he's done, he exceeded that thing and then some. So we were to, like, Lord forbid, anything happen to you, but look at your legacy. What do you want the legacy to be for you as an individual, and then also legacy for your business?
As an individual, I want people to remember my heart. You know, we are foster parents and adoptive parents. My wife and I.
Shout out to y'all, by the way.
I always say, I think everybody can be. Everybody don't think they can, but I think everybody can be. Because there's enough love to go around.
Absolutely.
And most people go like, oh, but when they leave, don't you hurt? Yep. I've cried. I've hurt. I've wondered. But for the period of time that they're with us, we just try to give them much love that we can, show them as much stability as possible, and hopefully plant a seed that can get watered later on, or hopefully plant something that can be sustainable. So as they grow older, they can know still that, okay, this thing may not be the best situation, but I know that there's better. So even if they're with us for a short or long period of time, our 8-year-old, he never left. We got him when he was a baby. He never left. You know, whatever period of time that we have you, if we could just do that, then we believe that hopefully you could be a better person. And then if you have a good heart, which most people do, everybody can be a foster parent. So there is my foster parent clarion call.
Come on.
Because we need more.
Yeah.
There are many kids in the system, and we need more. Unfortunately, we have people that don't know how to parent or don't want to be a parent or just have bad situations. And even when people have bad situations, maybe they just need, you know, we had somebody where they just needed to be in the custody for a few months and they went right back, you know, and those type of things happen. But we need people to do that. And it's strained right now. I don't want no more kids. I don't want no babies. Somebody's got to take the place. But I want people to know our heart that we try to do the best things that we could. We know no man is perfect, but as long as somebody can say, well, you know, he was already dude. You know what I'm saying? He was already dude. Love me or hate me, he still was an already dude. Business wise, I would love to have it so, one, that as I age and I'm not able to do as much on hand, that is still functioning. You know, hopefully one of my sons, you know, take it or do it, or whomever, you know, comes in and has that passion for it. Because I understand sometimes you want your family to do stuff for you or do things with you, and they don't always. My father wanted me to be a barber. His father was a barber. His father's father was a barber. I can't, man. Nah. You be talking about nicks and all kind. I remember one time I tried to cut my hair when I was in high school. Y'all may not know who Spud Webb is. I know Spud. You remember how you have that patch on the side? I went to school like that because I tried to cut my hair. I had a patch on the side. So that wasn't going. That wasn't going to work. Wow. But I do know, and I believe that he's proud of me because of what I'm doing as an entrepreneur. Come on, man. So, you know, it may not be for them, but at least I can leave it for somebody to take it on and carry, and hopefully grow and continue to touch people. You know, continue to make, if that brief sandwich, that brief dinner, that brief moment of the experience that you get from us makes your day. As many people as I can touch, that's what I want. And as long as that can happen, you know, I believe barbecue can bring everybody together. You put a bubble, you take everything out of the equation, and you just smoking barbecue, we good to go. I can
Said-
be friends with anybody.
Barbecue equals world peace. We selling
It does. It does. It does. It even Bourdain, he actually said, I kind of changed it, but paraphrasing, basically said he believes barbecue, rest in peace to him as well, can be the spark to change the world. I believe it can. The things you be arguing about in there, fat side up, fat side down, hot and fast, low and slow, stuff like that. But any other thing, I have had some of the best conversations with people I know ideologically we do not. And I said that wrong, so forgive me. We do not nowhere near stand together.
Wow.
But when barbecue is in the midst, it's a different thing.
It changed the atmosphere.
It is. So it's again, that's why for me it's America's cuisine, and I believe it to be one that you argue about something else, but when you have that, there's something different about smoke roll. I mean, I know we got soul food, you got Italian food, you have every other kind of ethnicity's foods. You come up the driveway, you open the door, you smell the soul food. It comes up. That's fine. You can smell smoke rolling from a block away.
That's real.
That brings people together. And that's one of the other reasons I started this thing called Barbecue Give Back. We did it for 1 year last year. We're going to do it again this year, date to be determined. But what it was basically we had other few people across the country that helped and did it. We just gave away barbecue. Kingsford helped me with ours last year. So we were down at the Madison, and all you had to do was just get an Eventbrite ticket, and you came. And I think we had hamburgers, hot dogs, chicken, ribs, all kind of stuff, the sides. And you just come. We just had a cookout, and we were able to give back. Because one of the things since 2020, unfortunately, we haven't been very neighborly. It's been so tense that people don't, do the block parties like they used to. They don't talk to their neighbors like they used to. They don't do those type of things. So here again, being a believer in barbecue, wanted to start that. So we had a successful year last year. Hopefully we'll do the same again this year. And just, and then we asked people, we did something big, but, we just asked people, look, throw some brats on the grill, invite your neighbor. Just have a conversation.
That's good.
Just have a conversation. Just be neighborly. Yeah. I think if we can start to do that again, because I think tensions are just a little bit too high right now.
Barbecue is healing the world. So that's an episode.
Absolutely. And you can get yours at Carter's Barbecue.
Yes, you can.
There we go. So, and this, I find this is the most important question of the whole episode, right? Because thank you for sharing your story with us, by the way, and just showing your experience. And that's why I love our podcast. I know I'm biased as hell, but it is what it is. But I feel like the mark of any great speech, any great interview, there should be takeaways. If there were 3 takeaways you would want someone to take away from an interview, what would they be?
1, live your dream. You have the possibility to live your dream. 2, be consistent at that dream. Because if you're not consistent, then what's the use of doing it? 3, just believe in yourself. Just believe in yourself. That is, you're going to have people drown out the noise. You're going to have people that say, well, maybe you shouldn't do that, or maybe I can't do that, maybe you this, or whatever. Or you're going to have the people that know you in a certain space. They don't know you outside of that space. Just be confident in who you are, be consistent, and live your dream, Do that. Be happy. Just be happy. Just be happy. But yeah, those 3, I guess I would think.
Nope, I know but again 3. Because I think a lot of us, especially during the pandemic, you see everybody that wanted to be a entrepreneur, right? Cool. But I don't know how many of them are actually happy doing what they're doing. They weren't in pursuit of money, but they were in pursuit of the passion behind it.
Right. And what they say, build it and they'll come type of thing. You're going to put more money out, especially in the beginning. It is that way. You're going to go through your life savings. You might have to pull out your 401k because now it's on you. And even the best play, as they say, the best made plans, mice and men, it crumbles. But the thing is, here again, don't give up, don't lose faith, believe in your talents, and then just keep pressing forward. You will get out that hole. You will get forward. And somebody's watching. That's the one thing I didn't believe. But somebody is watching. Somebody is watching, and you never know who that person is. And that person could be a benefactor to you that you would never know. But if you're not, here again, consistent. Yep. If you fall off a radar, then you got to do it. When you don't want to do it, Tom Brady, whether people talk about him cheater or not, he just made a Hall of Fame speech, and I don't know if you guys heard it.
I did.
Into Patriot Hall of Fame, and he's right. You gotta work hard. Life is hard, but you have to work hard. And as long as you do that, good things can only come your way. I believe.
Come on.
Good things can only come your way.
Now, how can they come your way and continue to support you?
Check me out on my webpage, cartersbarbecue216.com. That is the most up-to-date schedule I have. So, you feel like some barbecue one day, just come to the website, check it out, see where I am. Come visit me and tell me, I may have a surprise for you if you tell me that you saw me here on the pull-up experience.
Come on now.
Come on. And by the way, everyone, so for my lazy people, once again, lazy people, you watching this right here. No excuse. Okay? No excuse. So I want to see you with, I want to see barbecue sauce in your face. I want to see your bone. I want to see all that. We can't thank you enough, man.
Yes, thank you. And thank you for sharing your story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, like I said, when you guys invited me, I found out who you guys were. I was like, ooh, I done made it. Somebody, what? So, there's not a camera. I don't know. I guess you may have noticed that by now. There's not.
No, listen.
But that, here again, that comes out of, that just comes out of myself, building myself up over the years because of low self-esteem. From ADHD, from all that other kind of stuff. But now, y'all got the best of me. So
no, listen.
But I appreciate. Oh my God, I appreciate this. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
When I met you or whatnot, because I see you online, but it's different between someone online actually
Right.
to talk to me.
Right.
I'm like, man, we gotta sit down with you and hear your story, man. And like I said, I love hearing genuine people talk about their experience and being able to influence or encourage the next person.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much.
Thank you, and I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. For part 2, we're gonna pull up to the truck.
Yes.
And we're gonna actually we gonna get some ribs there, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So maybe one day we can make a pull-up platter.
Yes.
We can make a pull-up platter.
We gotta record it. All right, we got to. I will make some clips. I will send this to Carter myself. Like, remember, you said it right, just like that.
We'll have that one day.
Yes, sir. Hey.
We're gonna do it at the Brown Stadium to commemorate the whole collaboration.
Yep, here it is. Right division. Make it plain.
Yeah.
That is one thing. Like you said with Lipsy Hustle. I said hustle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You gotta believe in something. You gotta write down something. You gotta have some thought because it never will come to play.
Listen.
It never will come to play.
We're a living example of that. Because how many times we said we want David Shands on the podcast? 2 million, a million, and got him. You know what I'm saying? Obama, we coming for you.
Yeah.
Okay? Stop playing. Okay? So just wait. Episode 500, don't worry.
Let's go. If we get 500, it'll be Obama, baby.
But that's the one thing. I saw this place. You talking about restaurant. I'm sorry. We're going to
go.
No, we talked about restaurant. There is an old, and I told my wife this, in Euclid, there's a car dealership that went out of, I don't know if they didn't go out of business. I don't know, they left. Mm-hmm. So it's just this huge empty building now.
Sims.
Yes, yep. Right on Babbitt Road in Lakeland. And I looked at it one day and I was like, ooh, it's my logo up here. I see
it's very spacious.
I can see over there outdoor seating. They go park. I mean, I saw the whole thing, right? And it's like I can see a stage for bands or music and all that. I was like, yeah, that could be doable. Understanding that that's part of a dream. Mm-hmm. Now, what I got to do to eat now, will it ever be open for me to do that long time ago? Probably not. But just the fact that is in my mindset,
your aspirations.
You work towards that. So now I got the trail. I'm doing good. We're doing Sundays at Create Space, so that's kind of a little bit on the way. Maybe next year or 2 years from now, I got another trailer, but then maybe I'm doing a little bit more, at Creative Space or something, building up to that
levels. Yeah,
but you got to have something to attain to, and it may be even bigger than what you thought. But when you have that vision, just hold on to it. It may not come like that, but it's coming.
It's coming.
So when I saw that, I was like, ooh. So I took a picture of it and superimposed my logo on there, put stuff on there, just to have it there to see that there's something to work towards.
Listen, I remember. I don't know if you're familiar with Michael Todd. He was talking about how he did the same thing for his church. He did the same thing. He put his logo on the front of this center that no one can, and we call it crazy faith. Or whatnot. Sometimes you gotta have it.
You do, and it's crazy, it's dumb. And understand this. The only person, and somebody had to teach me this. When actually, Rasheed Phillips, one of the gentlemen that mentors me, he got this through my thick skull. Only person that really knows your dream is you. Now, my wife supports me 1,000%. I have family members that support me 1,000%, 90%, whatever. They all support. But nobody knows the dream but me. So it's up to me to continue to move that forward. We can't expect people, and don't be mad, especially when family and friends don't want to help you or can't. It's not their dream. It's not what they want to do. And you can't fault them for that. This is you. This is your path. You have to run that. You have to toe that mill. You got to, be that bull, put the things on and just go. Plow it. You got to do it. But it's yours because it's in your mind. It's what God gave you, and you have to make that happen. And it has to be by any means necessary for you. So don't be mad if somebody can't, get with your plan. But you've been my friend for 25 years, and we didn't. It's not them, and you can't fault them for that.
No.
So just throw your road, throw your hoe, do your thing.
That's right. That's good stuff right there. Give us bills.
What's the bills?
I got something. Two grown men looking at me talking pay some bills.
That's right.
This is the new life.
Hey, I'm about to explain to you. That's right. That's right. Tell her, 2024. Equality. Come on now.
I know you. Hey, I'm fine. Just sit me downstairs and give me a bourbon. I'm good.
With that being said, we definitely want to make sure that y'all continue to pull up on some of the most amazing people here in the city so you can experience what we experience. First thing I want y'all to do is to make sure that you all continue to support Launch Arts Media. Now, by the time this airs, we'll all be laughing, joking, sitting around talking about our June 20th event, where we all got together for the artist showcase that they held, where we also have the opportunity to see everything as far as visual and digital media streams. But most importantly, we got a chance to support our own
Steve.
Come on, Steve Jackson, the man behind the cam of the pull-up experience, will be there in the flesh, and I can guarantee it. I know he's like all over the city, and it's hard to get in touch with him because he is so amazing. But I can guarantee we can play Where's Waldo together. He will be there.
We'll be there.
So make sure y'all show up. Really, make sure y'all show up in the comments and tell us how y'all enjoyed the experience, because we know that you all came and supported us while we went. So absolutely, make sure you guys continue to support Launch Arts Media as a whole. Absolutely. They are an amazing collective of artists, all around dynamic people, and most importantly, they help you to capture the experience. We know when we buy the photos, we're not buying the angles, we're buying the experience that we are trying to create, that legacy we're trying to keep, those memories that we're trying to ingrain. So make sure you all do your part of adding to that, continue to support them, show up to everything that they do have, and continue to stay in touch. They got some great people, and you can be somebody else other than Steve because we need him. Okay, but definitely call my guy. He is amazing when it comes to weddings, any type of event photography or videography, anything like I said that you need to make sure that your day, because it's hard to remember it when you're in it. So much going on. But him and his team have a wonderful eye, and they continue to capture all that. So if ever you need to look back on it tomorrow or 20 years from now, it's still going to be the amazing product that he continues to put out. On top of that, we have Lady B, my girlfriend. She also is one of the amazing eyes here in Cleveland, and she sees what we don't see. Most importantly, when it comes to event photography or videography, she's able to capture the experience of it all. A lot of people focus on the panel or on the show. She's focusing on how the people there reacted to it, and she's amazing. When they come together, oh my goodness, it makes you remember why it was so much worth the investment of time, effort, energy, and money. So absolutely stay in touch with both of them. Tell them the pull-up experience sent you. Now, we also have my bro Kwame, love the brother. Now, I ain't got my shirt on yet. I was saving it because I got it pressed and sitting out next to my sneakers for tomorrow for
What type of
Juneteenth.
first day school stuff?
I lay next to it because I
what?
love the brother. I actually got to love the sister shirt because we put me all the way together. Now, if you all are trying to be juiced up like me and be all the way sauced up, more importantly, you want to be certified in the city from a wonderful Black-owned business perspective. He's going to keep it fun, light, couple jokes, but he's also going to make sure that we are continuing to operate in our excellence. A lot of times we try to give each other a pass as being Black businesses when with Love the Brother and many platforms, including the Pull-Up Experience, we support excellent businesses that just happen to be Black. So what he does is go through to your openings, to your anniversaries, to your everyday, just because you need somebody to come and shop and make sure that you're staying on point and being both as consistent as you were persistent when you started this business, you absolutely need to hit him up for his Love the Brother stamp. Now, what he will do is come in, he will do a full run through of your services or products. He's going to talk to you, maybe. We'll see. But all the while, he is going to get a great feel for it and then be able to approve if you are Love the Brother certified or Love the Sister certified for all of those who are just like me. So make sure y'all pull up and get that experience.
Absolutely.
The next person we would be remiss if we did not talk about, especially because it's Mental Health Month, is Sam of Curvy Confident. Now, y'all know my sis be outside and she be serving looks every single time. She will give you everything you need as far as a vibe. So if you need any type of event host, any type of management interviews, anything of that sort, she is the one for that realm. Y'all know her from the Pull-Up Experience events. Y'all know her from our on-site interviews. She will come, she will speak to you, but she will speak through you as well. She is amazing at capturing everything as far as how good that this can be, how wonderful, how transparent, but also how impactful everything that's going on in the city is. And she has a gift that she operates in unapologetically. So if you all are good and need to have that conversation with somebody who is very stuck on the look, but also on the feel, because she's really big on mental health, motivation, and making sure we're all comfortable in the skin we're in, Curvy Confident is definitely where you all need to go. Now, I know it's looking a little bare up here. They got me stuck here with Brandon today. But let's talk about our other hosts, right?
You're welcome.
So first, we got my girl, Brittany of Beauty Toad. Now, we know it might not always be pretty, but it's absolutely going to be beautiful. And she navigates the stories through her podcast of entrepreneurs, creators, and just dope people in the city doing some crazy things. She goes through all of the tea when it comes to navigating those spaces of how they got through. Now, she is a financial specialist, but more importantly, she is part of the Pull Up. So make sure y'all pull up to her podcast, Beauty Toad. That is BEAU_T, because that's what y'all going to be sipping and spilling. _Toad, because she is one of the ones to get you to tell the story the way it needs to be told. Absolutely make sure y'all support my good sis, Britt. Speaking of which, we also got my girl, Nakia of 2U Wines. Now, if you are looking for a vibe,
oh yeah,
and a buzz, y'all definitely want to head to 2U Wines in South Euclid, 4425 Mayfield Road, South Euclid, Ohio, 44121. You know you're in the right place when you see the teal blue walls.
That's right.
Now, if you're looking for somewhere to start your night, end your night, or just have a wonderful night, you can go with your date, you can go with your bestie, you can go with your friend that you just met, but you know they like to get it in. She is an amazing person. The charcuterie is available. The wines are available. You can taste the flight. You can take a flight. She has the wine slushy. The patio's open. And more importantly, she'll be there when it comes to all things wine. She's here to educate you. She's here to test your palate, but never your patience. She is an amazing person all around, and she is part of the Pull Up. So make sure y'all go and celebrate, and make sure y'all have a toast to you. Cheers to you for 2U Wines, 4425 Mayfield Road. Also, we got myself, Marquita of Beneficial Gang, and I provide business systems for entrepreneurs, specifically how to set up your sales funnels and do organic targeted marketing so that you don't have to run ads, because it's going to be hard to multiply something that you ain't making no money off of yet. So we definitely make sure that you have a stable foundation and a social media presence so that you continue to build. Make sure y'all hit me up. Y'all can at me on Instagram, but y'all can also go to the website and put yourself on my calendar at www.beneficialbay.com. Last but not least, my big bro, the one to know in the city, as we just talked about. We got Brandon Gates of the Pull Up Experience. He has been a finalist, and as we watch this, we're going to pray in advance that we are celebrating and clapping together because he was Entrepreneur of the Year this year at the Pink and Black Honors. Make sure that you all leave in the comments below what your experience was, because by the time this airs, we will have already been there.
I don't have the board right up here on the table.
You know, when he went,
I'm wearing the chain. I'm gonna have a chain. Don't play with me.
He's gonna talk about hype button. He gonna get his
I'll wear
hype
some
button.
sunglasses. I'm like
Raven
this.
trophy.
I'm like, yeah.
It's happening, y'all. It is on the way. Also, if you're looking to do anything real estate based, especially like buying a home or selling a home, this is definitely the man you need to meet. Not your average agent for a reason. He is huge on actually pouring into the buyer and not just the pockets of those who stand to make money with the transaction. So he's going to hold your hand through the process up to and including running your credit and helping you build it. He's going to teach you what you need to know, educate you on the different terminology when it comes to buying and selling houses, telling you what your best options are, and then helping you all the way to that closing table so that you are confident in the decisions that you make. Last but not least, I would be remiss if I did not shout you guys out. The Pull Up Experience is nothing without you all, and we are 3 years deep in this.
3 years.
On time.
Pray for me, y'all, because I'm stuck with Brandon that long. Anyway, it's all a testament to you all.
Yes.
We started this thing off, and I'll give it to my bro who actually started it. He called me. He's lit in my DMs, but he called me and said, I want to do something amazing. That's the truth. I got the receipts. He wants to do something amazing for the people in the city of Cleveland. He was tired of us only talking about the same 7 people.
Disruptors.
The disruptors, and we have been disrupted.
We have been disrupted.
We are the most talked about podcast in Cleveland for all that's worth, and that is everything compared to you guys. So all I have to say is thank you, thank you, thank you. It's nothing but gratitude from my heart and my head and my lips. I appreciate you all the comments, like, save, share, subscribe. And most importantly, the watch hours. If y'all make it to this part of the show, I know y'all be like, oh, how did she do it? How she do it? It's really because there's so many amazing people, including yourselves, that are just so easy to talk about, man. So I could go on and on and on forever without a script. Just to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Did I miss it?
I love the way you do that.
No, listen.
That's our thing. We got
Come
some
on,
great people here.
Let's give Marquita that because, hands down.
This is Cleveland. It's y'all. It's really y'all are braggable people. This is a braggable city. It's one that I take with pride. And again, it's all about just introducing you all to each other. Sometimes all you need is the right network or the right person to know you exist to spark that flame and keep it going. We ain't gonna open a pit now. No wood pits. We ain't got that skill like you, but we'll spark that flame.
I love. I rep Cleveland everywhere I go. You can't say nothing about Cleveland bad in front of me.
Oh yeah.
You know, I even wanted to go to ESPN and burn all their video tapes every time some of the sports come up.
Especially Stephen A.
Man.
I should be like,
I know you watch Stephen.
Keep putting it out your mouth.
Yeah, Will Smith with it, man.
Right. But this is my home, and I've been many places, but flying back in here is nothing like coming home.
And everybody talk about New York. If you can make it in New York, if you make it in Cleveland,
trust me,
you can make it anywhere.
You can make it anywhere.
That's
Trust
real.
me. Take it from an old head. A middle old head.
But thank you once again, man.
Yes, thank you.
It was definitely my honor. Look, anytime or anything I can do for you guys, just let me know. We got it.
Absolutely. You got on tape. Okay, good. So let's go. This is episode 228. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Peace.
See ya.